well, here we go. We have radii kind of all stuck together. They're giving us diameters. We have these two circles. We have the circle X, and we also have a circle Y. They do give us some very important information here. We have that circle X has a diameter. So I'm going to write this out at the top here. So circle X has a diameter of 22. So very quickly we should recognize, well, if my diameter is 22, then my radius must be half of that, which is 11. All right, and then let's look at circle, changing colors, maybe. There we go. Circle Y. And his information is that he has a diameter of 16 units. So therefore, our radius must be half of that, which is 8. We're also given that WZ is 5. So we might need to zoom in a little bit. All right, so let's fill in some more information. So we have that this segment WZ is 5. We also know that for the circle X, from X to our point Z has to be 11, because again, that's our radius of our circle X, and our diameter was 22. So if we want to find the measurement of XW, that's not too hard here. We could actually do that very quickly. The measurement of XW is just simply going to be 11 minus 5, which is 6. So we could actually go ahead and fill that in. It might come in handy here in a minute. All right, so now to find ZY, well, we need to kind of go back a little bit and determine, again, or remember that our circle Y has a diameter of 16, and that means our radius was 8. So that means from W, or from Y to W was 8. We again know that WZ is 5. So to find ZY, we would do 8 minus 5, which is equal to 3. Now we have enough information to answer our question of finding the value of, or the length of XY. So our length of XY, we just need to add up all of our values. So 6 plus 5 plus 3, which is 14. There you go, 14. All right, so now let's look at our next problem, because again, we don't have concentrics, we just have circles kind of embedded with each other, forming chords and forming radii and having overlapping values. For this one, we have the circle A, which you can see here's the center of circle A. We have circle B, here's his center, and we have circle D, which is this little guy over here. And it looks like C is just a point that happens to be on circle D, but in the interior of B, along our segment DE. And it looks like DE, from what we can see, okay, so D is on our circle A, so the chord or diameter DE of circle A is going to be a diameter. So that's going to be helpful because we're being given some other information up here. All right, so we're told that we have circle D has a diameter of 4 inches. Keep in mind that means that the radius is going to be 2 inches for circle D. And then we have circle B has a diameter of 9 inches. So again, for him, his radius is going to be half of 9, which is 4.5 inches. And then let's look at circle A. And circle A has a diameter of 18 inches, which means his radius is going to be half of that, which is 9 inches. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Let's find out. So we have all of our radiuses identified. We've determined how they're going to be. So let's start filling in our circle because it wants us to find the length of AC. Well, AC is kind of awkwardly in the middle of all of this mess. So let's go ahead and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can kind of pull up some better imagery here. All right, so let's apply what we know about circle D. So we're going to kind of work from the outside here. All right, so our radius, which would be from the point D to C, is going to be half of 4, which was 2. Then we have our radius from B, and B was 4.5. Well, that's helpful because look, we can actually apply that to this side here, which is 4.5. But we can also, we know from B to D is 4.5, but we know that D to C is 2. So to find the segment BC, we know again that we're going to take BD, all right, my length of BD, and I'm going to subtract from it the length of DC. So BC is 4.5 because that's my radius, minus BC, which is 2. So that's going to give us 2.5. All right, so great. We can put that in there, so 2.5. And finally, we also need, well, actually, we've got everything we need, don't we? We could go and fill in some more information. We could go in and put in that AE is, you know, what was AE? 9 again, but we don't really actually need to. We could, just to fill in all of our segments. But again, this particular question was asking us to identify and find the value of AC, which now we have sufficient information to be able to do that. So the segment AC, which I can actually write it out, is going to be the segment AB plus the segment BC, where AB is 4.5, and adding to that 2.5. So our segment AC has a value of 7 inches. Not too bad so far, I would say.